I'll say rest in peace, Justin Holmes. He shouldn't have died that day, and I pray for his family every night. This been weighing on me every single day of my life.
Charges. This is the story of Cameron Terrell, aka the rich white Crip.
Welcome to Hood Politics. In this episode, I will be discussing the story of Cameron Terrell, also known as Milk or White Boy from the Rollin 90s neighborhood Crips, which is a gang located on the west side of South Central Los Angeles. The facts of the case are as follows.
So right now I want to get into this little whole situation about that white boy that was supposedly from Rollin 90s. And his name is Little Blue Eyes. Blue Eyes number 2 from Rollin 90 Crips, supposedly, allegedly. Now
Cameron, he's not as innocent as everybody would say. Some say he's innocent, some say he's not, but the fact of the matter is that you're around here. You're excited by what's going on in your generation. So you're down here hanging with these kids, you're getting in all kind of trouble with these kids. Now when the pressure is on, now you flee back to Palos Verdes, to a safe haven that you know.
2 black juveniles are awaiting trial for the killing and remain locked up. Community activist Melvin Farmer says issues of race and wealth helped save Terrell from serving time. Terrell is from Palos Verdes Estates. His family paid his $5 million bail and legal bills.
2 black juveniles are probably facing a life sentence to where an adult took them to do something where he should have been held responsible just as much.
Oh yeah. I begged my homies that night not to put that white boy on my hood. I was like, man, please don't put this white boy on my hood, man. Right there in front of Cameron Terrell, while the homies is trying to sock him out and everything. And he ain't defending himself. He can't fight. He can't do nothing. I'm like, man, look, this dude gonna tell when he get to jail. And the white boys is gonna end up having him, And all that's gonna be on our name. But the little homie that was running everything, he didn't want to hear it because he had another plan for that white boy. But before he can execute his plan and do everything, guess what? He went to jail. So now Cameron Terrell is left out here with all these other goofies.
I don't have to explain myself to anyone. God knows what really happened that day, and God knows what was in my head that day.
The case made headlines when Terrell's wealthy family posted $5 million bail and he returned to classes at his high school. Terrell now says he plans to attend the University of Houston and go to law school.
Yeah, I'm Dr. Crip, and this is the real story of Cameron Terrell and the Rollin 90 Crips. When I first seen Cameron Terrell, it was in Jesse Owens Park. I was standing in the middle of the aisle, and they drove by me in that black Benz, and I looked at him right in his eyes as they drove by, and I could just see the mental illness, the fear, everything. And I was like, Jesus, I hope these dudes don't go do nothing stupid with this dude out that car. I don't know where he met my little homies at, but the couple of them was in the car. One of them was a little active homie, and the other one had just got put on. He was a new booty. Still is a new booty. If you ain't got 10 years in my hood, you really don't have no position yet, whatever. Like the dude that shot me, he ain't even been from my hood 10 years, and here you is shooting a G. That's how dysfunctional this neighborhood is. So stuff like Cameron Terrell is bound to happen like that. You know what I'm saying? So when I see him, I'm like, damn, what are they doing with this dude? So I used to see him here and there all the time, in the park. And I know they did all kind of other stuff out that car. They just probably ain't got caught for, or whatever the case may be. But the stuff that he did get caught for, people don't understand. He snitched on that. I read the paperwork. So it's this dude is just too much with this child. The carjacking that he got picked up after the fact, after the murder and all that. Yeah, he had did that carjacking way before then. So when I read the paperwork, I'm like, damn, he telling in. I'm like, how they didn't know? And the carjacking was before the murder. I'm like, they don't know this. But the thing of it is, it was two snitches. It wasn't just Cameron. It was another snitch. So the little homie that's in the pen, that's right now got 18 years, both of them told on him. Imagine that. And that dude was still running around. The only way he got to come back is because when he told, this white boy, just like all white boys, you can't convince me that there's a solid white boy from a Crip set or a blood set. I have yet to meet one. And if you are a solid white boy, you either dead in prison or you got your gang on your forehead, on your neck, on your face, because that's, you're going to have to be a model like that. But this guy, you know, he ain't built like that. He done already told. And I'm reading the paperwork with my homie. I'm like, why this ain't never came out? He like, you know, he just shot the paperwork from the pen right now. So I'm like, wow. So you got two snitches in this. Even before the murder even happened. The Cameron Terrell done already told. They picked him up at his house when the carjacking happened. They picked him up then. Took him to jail, let him go. The reason why that didn't come out so fast is because he didn't know. So when he probably came to the hoods, he was, you know, spooked, whatever, still dealing with people. He didn't know the other dude had already told too. Because they picked him up first. So he told from the station. I'm like, oh man. So when he stopped coming around, he probably just took advantage of that. Like, oh, they don't know I told. They already blaming it on the other dude. So I'm like, wow, this dude has really just been running through here rapid. But see, that's the dysfunctionality of a gang like the 9-0s. You know, when you're a part gang, this ain't no gang that just got, you know, structure and, you know, we got buildings and businesses is popping. You know, that ain't no gang like that. This is just a murder gang. All they do is commit murder, dysfunctional murders. That's it. That's all we ever done. And I was a part of it for over 25 years, adding to it. So it's a good reason why God stepped in and said, man, look, you ain't no longer part of that. That's why your goofy ass got shot trying to hang out with this dysfunctional people. But I ain't gonna let you die like that. I got a purpose for you. What you doing right now? Gang prevention for kids, letting somebody else know what they suffer from. GAMD, gang addiction mental disorder. So this dude is running around and, you know, he ain't from the hood yet. You know, he just, you know, they just driving around in the Benz, you know, clowning, you know, packing up in the Benz. You know how they do when you ain't got nothing. You catch 7, 8 homies in the car, you know, they driving around, doing all kind of stuff. So one day, you know, one of my little homies who in this illusion of gangs that got 10 years that I can't tell him what to do because he didn't earn his stripes and everything. So he organizing this white boy to get put on. So I'm begging him. I'm like, please don't put this white boy on my hood. What are you doing? He like, I've got a purpose for him. I'm going to use him for knock, knock, boom, booms and all this other shit, right? I'm like, man, you ain't got to put him on to do that. This boy is going to tell. He going to go to the jail and tell. He ain't built for all this. Cameron Terrell standing right there as I'm talking about him. And he just like, get him. And this boy running, he can't take no hits. He trying to squabble. He look retarded. I'm like, man, look, he go get ate up, and all this is gonna fall back on our name. Please do not put him on the hood. I'm begging him. I said, man, I'll do whatever you want me to do. Because people be trying to get me to join their little crews, but they like, nut, you join my crew, you know, you the G homie, all that, everything is good, but my enemies is your enemies. And I'm like, huh? No. See, because I don't have no crew. That's another reason why it's easy to shoot and kill somebody like me. Because I don't have no crew. I got homies. That's it. I don't have no crew. You can't get me to go against you. You can't get me to kill you. You can't get me to sort you out if you ain't done nothing because people don't like you or whatever. You know, I love all my homies. If you foul, you foul. That's it. That's the way I roll. That's part of my sickness. If you have done something foul, then I don't like you and I can't deal with you. Don't mean I want to kill you or anything like that. Nah, but I'm not dealing with you. You can't get my blessing on nothing. And my word mean a lot. Still to this day, how I'm alienated now, my word still mean a lot. People still call me. Listen, nut, they still talking about you. Yeah, because I didn't do nothing. And y'all let some goofy come along that shoot me. What is this dude going to provide that I didn't provide? What is this dude going to do that I ain't did over 25 years? But see, that's the way this goofy neighborhood is. And that's why your child should not gangbang, especially from the 90s. Do not let your child ever go to Jesse Owens Park and say, Mom, I'm from the hood. And don't, please, you need to kill, you need to die. You need to die before you let that happen to your child. You need to sacrifice yourself. Like I said plenty of times before, I've seen a parent come over there and just, I'm going to die until you get the message. And that child finally got the message and he ain't no longer over there. That's the kind of sacrifice that you got to do for your child. If you don't want your child to gangbang. I know it's easy to say, oh, he got to grow up. He going to be a man. He going to do this. He going to do that. He got to learn. I learn like, man, listen, man, I don't care about none of that. My child would never gangbang ever. I'm leaving this planet. It's over for me. My job is done. That's how you going to know that somebody loved you that much, that they're willing to sacrifice their own to stop you from gangbanging. But, you know, this guy, you know, he over here running around, you know, they doing everything. So they, you know, they finally trying to put him on, and I'm begging the homie not to put him on. And he like, no, he just gonna be from somewhere else, probably the hundreds or something, because, you know, they always in the hundreds. So I'm like, well, let him be from the hundreds. Don't put him on over here. Bring all that heat over there. He, like he said, I you know, if it was somebody else and you wasn't no a dude like that, you was trying to run something like that, and you ain't got no 10 years or nothing like that, you know, I'm in the illusion. You know, this is the illusion. You know, I stick with the facts of the illusion. This is my sickness. Because Ghost told me, nut. Because, you know, a long time ago, we had a meeting and I disagreed with a homie and I wanted to get in, like, you know, push. And the homie, like, go stop me, like, nut. Listen to the homie. Cuz opinion matter. Like, cuz got 10 years in the hood, which he had more than that. He like, cuz got 10 years. He like, any homie that been around here, nut, that been over here 10 years solid, staying straight down, you feel me? No nut smut on their name, no nothing, you know, regardless if they got money or not. And they been on point, you know, jail here and there, but they come back and they got that solid 10. He like, homie, their opinion matter. They know what's up. They can, you know, whatever they got, knowledge they got about the hood, they know they can pass it on. So their opinion matters. So I took that to heart. So anybody that I'm the one, and the brackets under me know that. Hey, cause your opinion don't even matter. Then you don't even got 10 years. Be quiet. must don't mean nothing because the dude that shot me, he got about 6 and 7 or something, you know. And his jail years don't even matter because I didn't even hear about you in the county jail. You know how you hear about the youngs in the county jail? I never heard nothing about your name in the county jail. You was turned down in there. You was in there with the homie's son that was turned up, taking all the fades and all that. Never heard nothing about your name, but you get out, gotta have these 18 chains, shooting me, shooting other people in the hood that we get along with, robbing old people, you know what I'm saying? Just out of control. So that's why I said I believe he took that matter on himself and like, I'm gonna shoot this old nigga, get this nigga out of my business. I really don't believe that somebody paid this dude to do it, because how much could I be worth? My family still like, how much are you worth for somebody to shoot you, man? You know? So, but this is the goofiness that's over there, you know? So Cameron Terrell fits right in good with a dysfunctional gang like that, you know? And I'm probably pretty sure there's other gangs out there that's just as dysfunctional, but this is the one that he landed in. So I'm out here battling with these dudes, with the homie. He put him on. Finally, this guy, now his guy is on the hood. So my other G homies, everybody, they like, no, just let it go. Ain't nothing you could do about it. This and that. So I'm like, yeah, all right, whatever. So this dude be turning in the park. They be doing whatever. So one day, they come to me and they like, hey, big homie, we want to go to the beach. It's a beach thing, this and that. You know, way out there, I don't know where you go out far to the beach, Lake Havasu or whatever you call it. And they like, we want you to come out there and cook for us. So I'm like, yeah, I'll go out there. It's cool. I'll go out there cooking. He on the trip with them, you know, drove the Benz out there, you know, piled people up in the car, you know, and drove out there. But you could tell that this dude just don't fit. I'm just looking at him and just like looking at his goofiness. But he knows what's going on, you know. He understands what's going on very well. Whatever they doing it. You know, he understands what's going on. But is he doing it from the heart, or is he doing it because you have to do what these 15-year-old kids say? You 18. He can't even flex he's older than these kids. You know, he was 19. Everybody keeps saying he was 18. I think at that time he was 19, to be honest. And you got 15-year-old kids telling you what to do. 15-year-old kids that put you on, socking you out, and you just can't fight, can't do nothing. I'm like, look, this is snitching that you are dealing with. But they didn't care about that. He didn't care about, my little homie didn't care about that. He just put him on because he had a purpose for him, you know, to do whatever it is that he was going to use him for. And it just never made it to that day, you know, because that little particular homie, I think he went to jail before all that happened. So now this goofy is out here with the rest of these Gilligans just running around in a Benz doing whatever. And the night of that carjacking, I do kind of remember something about that. And I'm like, what? I'm like, what is it with this that they out so late for? But I understood now what they was doing. And they end up telling on that little homie, you know? He ended up getting the carjacking case. The boy ended up telling on that one too. Yes, the boy ended up telling on that one too. I'm reading the paperwork. This is before the murder even happened. They did the carjacking before the murder. And after the murder, I'm reading the paperwork. I'm at the homie store, and I'm in his store, and the homie give me the paperwork like, man, read this. And I'm reading, and I'm like, what? this dude had already told. Why don't nobody know this? And like the homie in the pen, and he just got sentenced to the pen or whatever. He sent all his paperwork. So that's how, we found out. So I'm like, man, but the other thing is that it was two homies in that was telling on the carjacking case. Cameron wasn't the only one. It was another dude. So that dude stopped coming around. Cameron kept coming around because he didn't know what was going on. The white boy is under the delusion of that he don't understand what telling is. He don't know the full definition of it. He is confused when it comes to that. And he think he didn't tell. But when you read the paperwork, he's saying everything that happened, the same type of excuse. Oh, I didn't know they was going to carjack somebody. I seen him jump out the car, but I didn't know what he was doing. And then he I'm like, this dude. I said, I can't believe that this goofy is over here like that, man. It is killing me that this guy is over here. But this is after the fact, like I said. So, he running around, doing his thing. So I'm like, this is after the carjacking. So now when the carjacking happened, I see him again. He comes, I see him in the park. So, but they kept one homie. He in jail. So he don't know that Cameron that made these statements on him at the police station. He don't know the other homie that made statements on him at the police station. So when he going to court, he realized, wait a minute, I'm going to court by myself. So he talking to his attorney, because I talked to the homie on the phone long after, like, man, what happened, So he telling me everything, and I'm like, man, that's why these kids do not, because they don't understand what's going on. They don't understand the jail system. Man, camp, YA, all that is different than the county jail. The county jail is different than the prison, than the pen, and the state prison is different than the feds. All that. They may have some similarities, but everything is different. And if you don't know what you're doing or what to say, you will get caught up in the rapture of that, and you would lose your life and be behind those bars forever. Unless you got a good parent like Cameron Terrell, parents that's going to spin and come get you. I don't know if they bailed him out on that carjacking case, but I believe that that by him saying what happened, that the police was under the influence, because Crash really don't care, but they was under the influence at that particular time that maybe the white boy is innocent. So see, it was racism then. And he told what happened and everything. So they just, okay, we're going to let you go. You know what I'm saying? But they send the other homie that was a juvenile to camp or something like that. And then they use his statements on him against the homie and all that later on down the line. That's why nobody never really knew about the carjacking case like that. So, but I knew something was going on because he even acted more stranger than what he was. So, I could never put my finger on it. So then, as time goes on, I'm seeing this dude and a homie like, man, we're going to use him for whatever we're going to use him for. So I can't even say nothing. So they asked me to come to the beach with them. That's where you see that picture of the beach. Now, the picture at that beach, these podcast people got that picture, and those pictures of mine was taken with my phone. And I don't remember sending nobody those pictures. I might have sent somebody one of those pictures, but I really don't remember sending nobody none of those pictures. That's why I have all the pictures that you see, at the beach when this dude is hanging out. He he's supposed to be from the hood now. And I'm like, man, what is going on? But that's the dysfunctionality of gangs, especially in my hood, So they stay doing stuff. And I'm like, why are y'all? Because one of my G homies, his son, who's involved in the case, I'm like, why do they keep picking your son up to do stuff? And he like, man, I be trying to tell him, he ain't listening. Even we trying to talk to him like, man, why you with these dudes? Because he an active little homie, he trying to act like he not with it. He trying to hide it from his father until he just couldn't hide it no more. And finally he just start, coming out, it's this and that. So it wasn't nothing that my homie could do no more with his son. He reached manhood, at 16, 17. He think he reached manhood. Now he understand you will not be getting out until you're 25 if they don't transfer you somewhere else, depending on what you're doing while you in there. So, I'm like, this dude, this white boy, I know he done something, but I could never put 2 and 2 together to try to figure out like how to get this boy smashed or whatever, because he's always constantly with these homies, these little homies, they always moving together. So I'm like, this is going to be a real battle with this white boy, Cameron Terrell, because my job was to get him away from the hood somehow. That's what I was trying to do, because the ultimate captain of all y'all, he didn't went to jail. So my job is that I'm trying to get this dude away before something go wrong, which we already know what it was that went wrong. Like the homie Melvin Farmer say, two black teens lost in jail, and one dude is dead. 3 black people lose, all behind this white boy. That's why I always say I don't care about no white boy being from no gang, no hood, no blood. I don't believe there's no solid white boy nowhere that when it comes to some Crips and Bloods. I don't believe that. I don't care who you was raised by. I don't care who you with. It's always killers from that neighborhood that you can't deal with, that you can't talk to. All these podcast white boys, same thing with them. You are not that factor over there. You are a mark. You are a participant of bullshit, But this white boy has really put a thorn in my side, man. He really was doing way too much. And it was some other stuff that they had did too, right? That I was like, man, this white boy is going to get y'all caught up, because they end up snatching purses and I don't know, trying to bribe people for their shoes and all. They, these city crimes that you do when you 14, you 15. They participating with this white boy and with these crimes. And the only way they was going to really find out is if when they get caught. And then they will understand that this white boy, I should not have been dealing with.
See the doctor. There goes the